What's going on, guys? It's Groove back again with another video, and in this chapter of Bitcoin, everything divided by 21 million, we're going to be going over how Bitcoin is connected to energy. Now, a lot of people will say, I don't understand Bitcoin, I don't get it, I can't touch it, I can't hold it, like where is it? And Bitcoin is pretty much like math. Like we all understand math, but math is everywhere and nowhere. We need math to create everything in this world, from buildings to whatever. We need math, but it's nowhere to be found. You really can't sit there and say, oh, I know where to go to get math. Math is just there. And Bitcoin is pretty much the same thing. Bitcoin is everywhere and nowhere. But what binds Bitcoin to this reality, what makes Bitcoin real, is its ability to bind energy. Bitcoin is energy. It's monetary energy. Whether you have a traditional mining rig where you're just connecting it to, an electrical grid, or if you're El Salvador, which uses their volcano, or the Kingdom of Bhutan came out and just said they use their hydroelectrical dam to produce it. Again, you need to give it energy to get the Bitcoin. This is what connects it to the real world. This is what, brings it into our reality. Unlike something like Ethereum, which is just fake. They just made it up. Oh, we're going to make this many number of coins and we're going to give ourselves 70% and we'll just give the rest to the people. Like it's a fake. It's not real. Like Bitcoin goes with the laws of nature. Everything requires energy to get it. When you go to work, you're giving energy. When you go to the gym, you're giving energy. When the sun shines down and the flowers grow, it's energy. Everything is energy. You need to eat to get energy. That is what connects this Bitcoin to reality and makes it real. It's not like any other crypto coin that requires nothing. Like those are all fake. They're all made up. There's nothing connecting them to reality. And so again, Bitcoin's connection to energy is what makes it real. These miners are sacrificing real energy to look for a specific number to a block, which allows them to mine the Bitcoin. Again, this is what attaches it to the real world. And in doing so, it turns this electrical value into the perfect representation of human value and of human time. Again, because you have to give it energy, you have to give it time. Each one of these blocks are solved every 10 minutes, so it's connected to time and energy, which again connects it to this reality. This is what makes it real. You have to give energy to it. You have to give time to it. It's not just made up. And it's not just cryptocurrencies or other cryptocurrencies that, are just made up and not connected to reality. When you dig deep, you realize that the fiat world, the world that we live in right now, when you go to work and you get dollars or whatever currency that your country has, those dollars, that is also made up. They can print as many of them as they want. So it's pretty much the same thing. There's nothing connecting the money we work for into, this reality. And so it makes everybody a consumer today, because as soon as you get that money, it's going to be worth less in the future. And so you start to think now, I need to buy something now. I need to get it now. And you can't plan for the future. You can't think ahead. And so your energy is just, again, it's just wasted. It's just, you go to work, you get money, and you spend money. You go to work, you get money, you spend money, instead of understanding, hey, I'm giving my energy right now so I can have a better future. You can't even think of the future. It kind of messes with you. Like when you start saving in Bitcoin, when you start putting all of your energy and time today into Bitcoin, knowing that your future is going to be better, it changes the way you think. And all of this, again, it's what happens when you live in the laws of nature, when you live in the laws of doing what's right. Like when it's not made up, your life just gets better. The money that you're working for gets better. Your energy that you're giving just gets better. A few interesting facts that he points out in this chapter is that Bitcoin is the first electrical energy that can be converted into a monetary energy. 66% of all the electrical energy that comes from the Bitcoin network comes from renewable sources. Again, like I said earlier, El Salvador is using their volcano. They're using a friggin' volcano to get Bitcoin, which is crazy. Then you have the Kingdom of Bhutan. They're using their dam, their hydroelectrical power. I think China has another dam that they're mining Bitcoin with. And so most of the Bitcoin today is produced by renewable sources that are already here on the planet for us. It's like it was just made for us. Like, it's like we're using the sources from the earth to get this thing. It's not made up or it's not harming anybody. It's like natural energy money. Another interesting fact is There's no cost to the transportation of Bitcoin. Like you can send it wherever, whenever you want to. Like these miners, they store it just like a battery, and you can send this electricity anywhere in the world for free. There's no cost to it compared to like oil, where you need to get it out of the ground, then you need to refine it, then you need to put it on ships and trucks and take it everywhere. All of this is a huge cost. Now, I'm not saying that we need to get rid of oil or things like natural gases, like we need pipelines and stuff like that. But again, there's no cost to this, whereas there's cost to everything else. And that's another thing too, going with that energy cost. So right now, a lot of people are saying, okay, well, you know, when Bitcoin's done being mined in 2140, like what will happen to these mining companies? They will just become energy companies because they'll be able to transport the Bitcoin wherever, whenever, and they'll be able to use it and store it. Ultimately, people will think of energy differently in the coming years. Going into the future now, Bitcoin, being this new monetary energy, will become just as important as electrical energy, mechanical energy, kinetic energy, gravitational energy. It will become a new form of energy that will just grow as we get further into the future. Gold has forever held its value over time, and fiat has been easily moved through space. But now, for the first time, Bitcoin does both. It holds its value and it's really easy to move. He then ends off by just talking about how, you know, anybody who claims that Bitcoin is a waste of energy or that it's harmful to the environment doesn't know anything about Bitcoin and doesn't know anything about energy. And that, you know, Bitcoin is this new form of energy that will just be better for the world because it can now harness energy and turn it into whatever we need it to be. And so, yeah, that was really it. I really like this chapter. You know, understanding how Bitcoin is connected to energy, which means it goes in the accordance of like natural law. It's not just made up, you know, and at the same time, it's everywhere and nowhere. It's just like math. Like we need math to do everything, but you can't go to one place and say, where's math? So I just love that about this chapter and understanding that, you know, Bitcoin is good for the environment. And most of the Bitcoin today is produced from the natural environment as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this chapter. Go ahead and hit a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.